Well, good evening. It is Robert Brown, Robert Bob TV Brown, the host of the Rod Report. How you doing today? Uh, I was just thinking about the 2016 election and how we're doing the same thing over and over again. Sure, most people really don't like Hillary Clinton. She's like that net that always around you, and no matter how many times you try to swat her away, she's still around. Or that fly trying to get a hold of your sandwich, that aggressive fly. You know that aggressive fly that, if you don't get away from me, that's Hillary Clinton. Now, Joe Biden in this situation is not necessarily the same. He's actually tolerable to a lot of people. More tolerable than Hillary Clinton. I want to talk about this image right here. This image right here is going to set the stage, what I'm going to talk about. Because the big thing on social media is we got the Wii bots, and don't note they're not from French. They're not from France. The Wii bots are those who always say, we got to do this, and we have to come against Trump, and we have to all band together, and we have to support Joe, and we have to do what Bernie tells us to do. I'm like, we might know you don't. Take your French somewhere else. Like rednecks say in the South, boy, if you don't take this is America, you better speak some English around here, boy. No, we coming here with this Wii stuff. Now look at this picture. This picture was the moment when Bernie Sanders at the Democratic convention, which I had the pleasure to go and I was ready to riot. There was a whole bunch of people ready to throw down. Cops was prepared for it. They had these huge gates trying to keep us from bombarding the gates and getting into the wealthy elite Wachovia Center. Bernie Sanders delegates were stripped of their credentials because they protested. And here we got a party, happen to be named Democratic Party, but they don't want to allow protesters. But yet, a lot of people around here want to crap on Trump because he's cracking the head of protesters, but you won't even look at your own party who cracked the head of protesters, silenced their voice, they put tape on their mouth, their credentials pulled, they took Nina Turner off the stage, and you want to talk about Trump and protesters when you got people who hate people who protest in their own party. Now, Bernie Sanders went before a crowd after finding out that Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the whole 9 yards, Robbie Mook, you name it, John Podesta, John Molester, whatever you want to call them. All these guys were in this thing to rig this thing against Bernie Sanders. Instead of Bernie Sanders calling them out, instead of Bernie Sanders saying that the DNC violated their own charter, and therefore I will be running as independent and coming against both of these horrible candidates, he cucked up, sold out, decided to support Hillary Clinton instead of moving his movement and his base, because at the time they were allegiance to him, outside and begin to do what needs to be done in this country, is develop more political parties. I'm going to show you a video, and this one video make me shut up everybody who's going to come with this Wii movement. We got Wii bots and we have a Wii movement going on, not just in the Democratic Party, but in politics. The Wii movement, again, is when somebody assume that you're on their side, that you are in their party, and that you owe their party some allegiance. They'll go around and saying, we need to. We is a badge of occultism, of the occult. We have to do what the Grand Master say. We have to do this. We have to do that. There's no individualism. In a cult movement, there's no individualism except the cult leader. Everybody else is on one accord. Everybody else has to fall in line, or they're going to meet the devastating blow of the cult leader. And whenever you hear somebody say we need to, they are thoroughly, deeply involved in a cult, whether it's in a political party or whether it's in some religious group. When somebody say we need to do this because for Joe and we need to get together and we need to listen to Bernie and all, they have clearly become victims of the Democratic Party. They bought hook, line, and sinker the fact that they don't have choices, that they're not individuals, that we all got to fall in line. If you ever say that, I want you to know you're in a cult and you need to get some help before it's too late. I'm going to show you a video that make me go in every face of every person in the Wii Movement. I coined that phrase. Nobody else coined it. The Wii Movement. These Wii bots. The ones who say we need to listen to Bernie. And those, I love Bernie. I like Bernie. But he lost. And therefore we need to do what Bernie does. Support Joe Biden. I don't know who is we. I ain't got to do what nobody does. I'm a grown doggone man. I lift up my toilet by myself. I don't need my mommy and daddy to come in there to help me sit on a toilet or piss. After seeing something like this makes me This makes me sickening in my stomach to see this. Watch this.
If Wall Street breathes a sigh of relief with Kamala Harris being named to the ticket, what does Bernie Sanders do?
Well, Bernie Sanders does everything that he can to defeat Donald Trump, who is undermining American democracy. Donald Trump.
That wasn't the question of Bernie. What do you do about your own aggression in your own party? Do you push back or do you cuck up? Do you shift the blame? Let's get off this subject and let's talk about Trump. No, we were talking about Harris. Let's bring it back. You got to bring it back. You got to bring that question back, Jake Tapper. You got to bring that question back. That's not the question I asked you, Bernie. Let's take Trump out of this. Are you in agreement with Kamala Harris? You got to put their feet to the fire now. You got to have these politicians bold up right now and be willing to push against his own party without giving anything to Trump. Nobody's giving anything to Trump. If anybody's giving anything to Trump, it's the person who have those flaws in this campaign. And that's why I said in my Dumb DNC series that I did in 2016, 2017, that one of the biggest reasons, one of the things that will cause you to lose an election is running horrible candidates who have a bad record, flawed candidates. You don't run those guys. Well, we're all not perfect, Robert. We all not pure like Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders ain't pure. I ride him like I'm a cowboy. That crime bill, ain't no way. I'm always in Bernie face just for that one alone, not to even mention how he blow off reparations. And then not even to mention him signing off for the crime bill and coming up with some lame cockamamie excuse about the Violence Against Women Act. It's no excuse to put black people through that, including black women.
Welcome back now to Campaign 2020. The 2020 presidential race is getting personal for two Democratic hopefuls.
In a CBS exclusive interview, Bernie Sanders is now apologizing to Joe Biden for something a Sanders supporter wrote. Senator Bernie Sanders.
Now, here we have people in your party, people who campaign for you. You got to try to have them on the leash. They can't say what's in their hearts. They can't say what they believe is the truth. You did that to Breonna Joy Gray. You did that to Nina Turner. And you're doing that to everybody. You turn your back on your base who wants to just tell the truth about both parties. But because you're a sycophant for Joe Biden, your buddy, your friend, your pal, because you're a kiss up for the Democratic Party, you would say something like this.
Sanders sounded remorseful while speaking in Iowa Monday.
Look, Joe Biden is a friend of mine. I've known him for many, many years.
That's your problem. The more you say that, the more it pisses people off that you pick Joe Biden over the people who are here struggling. You care more about Joe Biden than Jane. I know it hurts. But he works harder for Joe Biden to make sure he get elected than anybody. Look at that look on his face. I know you look stupid, Bernie. I'm sorry. I could lose 10,000 subscribers. I'm sorry. But you look stupid because you know you made that stupid mistake saying that. Well, you know, Joe Biden's a good friend of mine. That is your Achilles heel. This is why you ain't got no balls to fight against the establishment no more, because you're too busy trying to befriend the establishment. You might as well befriend Jeff Bezos. Hell, you might as well befriend Trump. You talking about Joe Biden is your friend? And he may be your friend. Then why are you trying to be on our side of a revolution when you're trying to befriend corporatists, capitalists, and crony capitalists and vulture capitalists at that, and war criminals? But Joe Biden is your friend.
He's a very decent guy.
How is he a very decent guy? And now we got these weebots, these numbnuts. Well, Bernie Sanders said he's a decent guy. Obama say he's a decent guy. You don't know that. You're actually going to go off what people say instead of checking that record. Ask the many a black man that's in jail to this very day because of these policies that Joe Biden has pushed and Orrin Hatch has pushed in the crime bill. Ask every victim who that was brutalized, beat down, and even killed by the police, because they didn't have any kind of criminal action against them if they do, thanks to the crime bill. But Bernie Sanders wants to say, Joe Biden is a good friend of mine. He's a decent guy.
And Joe and I have strong disagreements on a number of issues, and we'll argue those disagreements out.
Yet you're going to vote for him. Yet you're going to push for him to be elected. Yet you're going to turn your back on your supporters to go and support Joe Biden. Well, forget them. Forget them. No.
But it is absolutely not my view that Joe is corrupt in any way.
The apologies.
It is not your view that Joe is corrupt in any way. But you can say Hillary Clinton. You wouldn't even say Hillary Clinton was corrupt. You'll imply. You'll suggest, you even hint at, but you wouldn't say he is. But because Joe is your friend and Joe invites you to his cocktail parties, that warmongering, lying, pathological lying, bigot, racist with rape allegations is not corrupt. Are you freaking kidding me? The man who raised 30-something reason to get the death penalty to 50-something reason is a decent guy. The man who helped push and develop NAFTA, CAFTA, and all those horrible trade policies, including the TPP, ran our jobs out of the United States. The manufacturing industry crumbled. Joe Biden's a good friend of mine. He's a decent guy.
Stemmed from an op-ed penned by a Sanders supporter in The Guardian. Author and Fordham Law School professor Stafford Teachout accused Biden of taking money from corporate America at the cost of middle and working class Americans.
And all this stuff is documented, Bernie Sanders. All this stuff is documented, we bots. He even take money from union busting companies, yet we got unions that's going to support him, like SCIU. 32BJ, 1199. You got unions that's going to support this guy, and this guy is taking money from the people who are trying to crush you. All this stuff is documented, folks. It's documented. But Bernie Sanders is in a position right now, he cannot say nothing against anybody in the Democratic Party. Well, he signed documentations to do that. Well, if I got to sign a document, if I have to sign a document to keep my mouth closed and I can't tell the truth, whether it hurts or not, about my opponent, then I don't want to run in your party. Bernie had every power and every recognition and every ability to run separate as an independent and beat both these idiots. He had enough name recognition, enough mojo to get out of both parties, run as an independent, truly start something outside the party, a real movement. And he gave it up for his good friend Joe Biden. I know you guys love me, but I want all of you millions to follow me to support my good friend Joe Biden. Bro, we ain't doing that. Ain't no way. And here you are throwing your surrogates under the bus like Zephyr Teachout.
And, quote, his record represents the transactional, grossly corrupt culture in Washington that long precedes Trump.
If anyone knows me, what I believe is we need a serious debate in this country on issues. We don't need to demonize people who may disagree with us.
Bruh, that is not demonizing people who disagree. And that's the problem with most of these people online. They listen to you. No, it's telling the truth. And if the truth make you look like a freaking demon, then you are a devil. Joe Biden record of law enforcement is a mile long and it brutalized and beat down and killed black people without impunity. So if that's not me calling you a demon, that's you actually being a demon and writing up demon policies. So Zephyr Teachout can't tell the truth. Nina Turner can't tell the truth. Breonna Joy Gray can't tell the truth. Or anybody up here like myself can't tell the truth without YouTube suppressing me. And then I lose 300 subscribers because YouTube don't like me telling the truth. Matter of fact, if you're listening to me right now, I bet you if you check the notification bell, you'll find out that it's not on always. And I bet you'll find out that even though you subscribed, they unsubscribed you. Now, I suggest you subscribed. Now, I'd start pushing that at the beginning of the channel to make sure you subscribe because they will unsubscribe you so you won't be connected to something like this that's going to tell the freaking truth. And Bernie Sanders don't own me and I'm not a surrogate of him and I'll tell the truth about his behind. These people out here sweating and toiling for you. Joe Biden's not doing that. They out here, your surrogates is on every news channel, every TV show, going to every event, stomping for you. Joe Biden wouldn't do that for you. If you won the election, Joe Biden wouldn't do that for you. And Hillary Clinton wouldn't have did that for you. Heck, they didn't do that for you when you were running for Senate again. When the last time Joe Biden went to campaign with you? When the last time Obama went to campaign for you? Recently. I know he did it about 18 years ago, but recently. Yet people who are part of your so-called revolution, your generals, your sergeants, your whatever, all your leaders in the movement, you're going to throw them under the bus so you can go sleep with the enemy. Well, Joe Biden's a good friend of mine. He's a very decent guy. So you're going to throw these people under the bus. Yet you Weebots want to come with this, we need to. I'm not supporting no fool like that. This guy's too in love with the Democratic Party. He turned his back on the supporters to be Joe Biden's friend, and that's that. Yet he going to try to tell us, or you going to try to tell us, we need to do what he do. What? Be a coward, turncoat, my own soldiers, and join the enemy? Get out of here. This guy's laughing at us. Look at this. See, this ain't no joke, Bernie Sanders. Now, Bernie Sanders said, well, me and Obama don't have a real working relationship. I don't like him. I don't agree with him in a whole lot of areas. He don't agree with me. And we're not good friends. Well, you could have fooled me with this picture. Because y'all laughing like y'all just came out of the Dave Chappelle joint. And that was the day Obama was supposed to be telling Bernie Sanders to step down and endorse Hillary Clinton. I'm tired of Obama going around trying to tell people what they gonna do. Same thing with James Clyburn. These bootleg, boule, uppity Negroes who haven't lived the black experience. Well, Clyburn probably have, but Barack Obama haven't. Not with a daddy from Kenya and your mom, a blacker than black daddy from Kenya and a whiter than white mama from Kansas. KK. Bernie Sanders sold out his own political movement. We gave him the opportunity to be our general and leader. Because in 2016, I was part of that team. I went to the convention and everything. I remember them taking people credentials. I remember them trying to silence people. People put tape on their mouth. I remember all that stuff. We were ready to ride and go full scale to fight if Bernie Sanders was going to contest it. If he was going to contest it and move forward, his supporters had his back. And even if they didn't allow him to do that in the party, he had every right to legally step away from the party after they didn't play fair. And he could have started a real political movement, pretty much start a new party and beat the crap out of Trump and Hillary Clinton. And the same can go for this election, beat the crap out of Joe Biden and Donald Trump if he ran for office, because he got enough name recognition, but because he crapped on black people when they talked about reparations, because he keep using that lame excuse about the Violence Against Women Act to sign the crime bill, knowing full well what it was going to do. He knew full well, did a speech on it, I guess try to put a little amendment here and there, but the bottom line, Bernie, you signed the crap, which make you complicit. And anybody, including these black bootleg coonhead Negroes in Congress, the same thing for them too. Bernie Sanders is a friend of the Democrats. That's his family. And he ain't gonna let nobody talk about his mama, daddy, his cousins, uncles, and aunties. He's not. Not even you. But yet, let somebody dump on his supporters. Oh, well, I just like to try to keep it on the issues. No, they crapping on Nina Turner. You going to defend Nina Turner? Because she showed to defend you. Are you going to risk it all for your surrogates? She'll sure do that for you. Bernie Sanders is like a lion with no teeth. He has been silenced by the DNC. Him and Joe Biden, he's so concerned about his cushy, bushy, man-bro relationship with Joe Biden that he don't even want to come against, I don't want to come against my good friend Joe Biden. He's a decent man. But Nina Turner better not get out of hand. Joy Gray better not get out of hand. They better not say something about Joe Biden. I'm not going to have it. I ain't going to have you talking about my boo, my man. You ain't going to talk about my Joe Biden. No, you ain't going to talk about my Joe Biden. I know about the crime bill. I signed it. Then you're complicit. That's why when somebody come talk to me about what Bernie Sanders said or whatever, I'm like, I don't give a flying blank what Bernie Sanders says. He got two balls. He can hold them on his own. Get your hands off my nuts. For every so-called voter shamer out there, for every Wii bot or Wii Nation, whatever you want to call it, for all you weirds out there, hold your own nuts. Stop trying to grab mine. Notes is synonymous for votes. Nuts, vote. Nuts, votes. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your vote. He did the opposite. When we get Joe in office, we can go back to nope. Probably be worse. probably be worse. There's nothing in Joe's history saying that he's a proficient at being a president. Nobody knows what they're going to do until they get in that office. But he's a decent guy. How do you know? Man locked up more black people than Africa. Kamala Harris locked up more black people for some of the dumbest reason in California. You standing next to me smoking weed and I go to jail? I ain't got nothing to do with that. First person to marry somebody that's of same sex. To some of you people, that's okay. But to them conservatives, it's not okay. I'm talking about them Christian conservatives. It's not okay. So you think they're going to go vote for Joe? Well, Bernie Sanders, that's not the look of Bernie Sanders to me. And that's insulting right there. To me, this look is more of Bernie Sanders. The Democratic Party in their bylaws and his friendship with Joe and them patting him on the back and trying to make him part of the Democratic club that he want to be so part of, so bad. You want to be bad. So I can't even think straight. It's getting late. He want to be in that club so bad that he done went full 50 Shades of Grey on us. Oh yeah, just strap the ball around my mouth while I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing against Joe or any other Democrat. Well, you know, we got a lot of good Democrats running. We may not agree on some issues, but we're all decent. You realize there are people who are decent, smiled in your face, and you never knew there was a freaking murderer. Oh, he was a nice guy. Yeah. Well, he killed 13 people. I can't believe it. He seems so nice. Y'all gonna learn from that stuff. How do you determine the future? Look at the past. That principle still stays true. How do you determine the future? Look at that person's past. Bernie Sanders has become the Democrats' cuckold. They put a ball in his mouth and strapped it around his head, and he cannot talk negative. I don't care if it's true. You can't talk negative against them. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm going to tell the truth no matter what. Sue me. I'm going to counter sue you. And I got tens of millions of supporters that all I have to do is say, send $3 to the campaign and watch me go after both of these parties. They sending the money in. So for you Wii bots out there, people part of the Wii nation, oh, we got to do everything. We got to come together and get rid of Trump. We are the world. We are the children. We, like the little pig in the guy coat. That's all y'all say. That's all I hear. We. Well, we people, I'm not a part of you. I don't want to be a part of you. I'm not following you. I'm not supporting you. Whether you like it or not, Joe Biden can kiss my behind. Donald Trump can kiss my behind. And yeah, even Bernie Sanders can kiss my behind by doing these things. You're going to throw your own surrogates under the bus. All you have to do is say, hey, look, they entitled to their own opinion. I don't agree with it, but that's their opinion. No, I think we don't have time for that. I think we need to stay with the policy. Joe Biden is a good friend of mine. Did you know that? Yeah, dude, I know that. You said that so many millions of times, man. One day I was walking down the street, and me and my wife were just having a good time walking, and seen one of my homies on the block. I was like, yo, what's up? And she said, who is that? I said, that's one of my homies. That's one of my friends. She said, he ain't no friend of yours. I'm like, what do you mean? That nigga tried to holler at me when you went home. I'm like, really? I say that to let you know Joe Biden's not your friend. He's befriending you to get the vote. And he's not willing to give up nothing for it. So we people, again, like I said in the last video, get your hands off my nuts. Put your hands on your nuts and go walk to Joe Biden and tell him to get some nuts and change his policies that's going to drive people to the poll. Right now, just vote for me ain't going to drive people to the poll. But if you give them an offer that they cannot refuse and policies, they're going to get their butt up and vote for it. So why don't you start doing it? We need a black agenda. I want you to take the black agenda that the black community has given you and push that. ADOS in particular. It's time that you start advocating for reparations. But you said in the past and even recently that you don't support it. So no, I don't care if Bernie Sanders said it. I don't care if Bernie Sanders came to me and opened up his mouth and said something so magnificent that his mouth glowed and pixie dust came out of. Bruh, shut your mouth. I'm not listening to you. I don't listen to you. People like that throw their own surrogates under the bus, I don't listen to them because you mean me no good. If you're going to do them like that, imagine what you're doing to me right now. Sitting up there supporting another bigot. Another racist, another pathological liar with rape allegations. You, Bernie Sanders, Mr. Ethical. Mr. It's all about the issues. What up? We're going to support Joe Biden. We're going to support Joe Biden, my good friend. We're going to support Joe Biden. He is my good friend. He's not endorsing Medicare for all. He's not endorsing. No, he's not doing none of that. And you want me to go ahead and support him. Man, if you don't get out I'll smack you.
I think if we end up losing, and I hope we do not, and if Secretary Clinton wins, it is incumbent upon her to tell millions of people who right now do not believe in establishment politics or establishment economics, who have serious misgivings about a candidate who has received millions of dollars from Wall Street and other special interest. She has got to go out to you and to millions of other people and say, yeah, I think the United States should join the rest of the industrialized world and take on the private insurance companies and the greed of the drug companies and pass a Medicare for all. I think that, says Secretary Clinton, that for the young people in this country, you should not have to leave college $30,000, $50,000, $70,000 in debt because we're going to make, as many other countries around the world do, public colleges and universities tuition free. I think Secretary Clinton is going to have to explain to millions of young people and a lot of other people that climate change is a real crisis and incrementalism is just not going to solve it. And she is going to have to come on board and say, yeah, I know it's hard, but I am going to take on the fossil fuel industry and pass a carbon tax. So the point that I am making is it is incumbent upon Secretary Clinton to reach out not only to my supporters, but to all of the American people with an agenda that they believe will represent the interest of working families, lower income people, the middle class, those of us who are concerned about the environment and not just big money interests. You know, we're not a movement where I can snap my fingers and say to you or to anybody else what you should do, because you won't listen to me. You shouldn't. You make these decisions yourself.